Hey, it's Christina from Proven Winners. I'm out today for a walk through more deep snow. It hasn't melted and some pretty chilly temps, but I can hear the birds singing and the sun is shining, so I know that we're gonna have a good walk. Tough stuff, aha. The hydrangea of the year. This mountain hydrangea is a rebloomer, which means it will flower from its old wood buds and form new buds on this year's new growth. We just saw a mountain hydrangea, and this is a big leaf hydrangea. You might notice that they have the same prominent buds, which is an indicator that they bloom on old wood. And that means you do not have to prune them. Normally, you'd be able to see a river there, but it is frozen over and covered in snow. Little lime panicle hydrangea. We found a panicle that hasn't been pruned or deadheaded, and it's a great example of what it can look like in the wintertime, and it kind of shows you what it will do with a snow load. So obviously these big flowers carry a lot of snow. So if your panicle hydrangea is planted under an overhang or next to a driveway, it might be a good idea to deadhead it or prune it back in the fall, just so it doesn't have to deal with a lot of snow load, which can break branches. This is a great example of a garden that is largely made up of deciduous plants, which makes the appearance of an evergreen particularly interesting. Now, these are some pretty strange animal tracks. With the blanket of snow behind them, you can really see how elegant these dried Caryopteris blooms are. Now this plant looks like it is loaded with buds. And we were right. Look at how many buds are on each of these branches. This is Zuzu ornamental cherry, and come springtime, this plant is going to be loaded with double flowers. Wow. Now this is a nice option for smaller gardens because it only gets 3 to 5 feet wide and 5 to 8 feet tall. So much smaller than your average ornamental cherry. This is a Japanese haskap, Yesberry maxi, and it has some pretty interesting little leaf nodes. Another great example of what a largely deciduous planting will gain by one evergreen. Lots of birds singing today. Hello again, chartreuse beauties. This is a rose that we're trialing, and man does it have big rose hips. This is an Itea, common name sweetspire, and I think it looks rather lovely holding on to its leaves this winter. Here is some proof that interesting bark really does make a difference in the wintertime. Now this is a maple, an Acer, but there are a lot of trees on the market that have interesting bark, so definitely consider that if you're going to buy a new tree. Clethra, common name summersweet, dried flowers in the wintertime. Today felt like kind of a celebration of the little things, flower buds and bird calls. Another great walk through the garden. I loved hearing so many bird songs. It definitely makes me feel like spring is around the corner, but there's still a lot to enjoy about wintertime, so we'll be out again next week. See you then.